Coach Evan here with a few shoulder exercise favorites. Let's get started. First one up, monkey rows. Has a funny name, but it's a 6 on the strength scale, a 7 on a hypertrophy scale, a 4 on a recovery scale, and a 3 on a difficulty scale. It's really good for hypertrophy, hence the high score. It's pretty good on strength. It's okay on recovery. It takes a little bit more to recover from because it's a compound lift and it's a little bit more difficult to do, so it's lower on the difficulty scale here. And the whole point here is two main cues to really look at. You want to keep your hands at your sides, right? And you want to have a neutral grip, whether you're grabbing a trap bar or dumbbells. And you want to push your elbows out to your side. Now, not all the way to the side. If you note, I'm slightly tilted back a little bit where my elbows are pointing. Same idea with the dumbbells here, but you want to pull them out to your sides. It's almost like an upright row, but at your sides. Next up, we have a favorite here, an all-time favorite, lateral raises. Now, the ratings I give this lateral raise is basically a combination of different variations. So I have it as a 5 on the strength scale, an 8 on a hypertrophy scale, a 5 on a recovery scale, and a 5 on a difficulty scale. So for strength, recovery, and difficulty, they're pretty much middle of the road. Hypertrophy, though, they're pretty doggone good. They're at an 8 here, okay? And this first variation I'm showing you is just a simple lateral raise. The main cue here is you want to push your arms away from your body, basically. You're just pushing your arms away. You don't want to shrug while doing it. You actually want to activate or engage your lats a little bit so that you're depressing your shoulder girdle, right? And you're pushing your arms away from there. Another variation is if you do heavy lateral partials where you're only doing the bottom half. Now, this isn't really getting the showy portion of the delt, but this is actually pretty decent for rotator cuff strength, right? And here's another variation, underhanded with the slight lean in lateral raises, and that tags just a different part of the musculature in your shoulders. Ultimately, pick one that doesn't hurt and run with it. Next up, we have a trap bar shoulder row. This is great to build some muscle on your rear delts, right? It's a 6 on the strength scale, a 9 on the hypertrophy scale, a 4 on the recovery scale, and 8 on the difficulty scale. It's pretty good for strength, compound lift here. Amazing for hypertrophy. Like I said, it throws slabs of meat on the back of your arm. A 4 on the recovery scale takes a little bit more to recovery from, and an 8 on the difficulty scale. It's not that hard to do. In fact, most people end up, when they're first starting off bent over rows, they end up doing these anyway. So the whole point is keep your elbows slightly pointed back, definitely not at your sides like monkey rows, but slightly pointed back. You want to slightly lean in as well, and you want to pull up. And basically, you're doing an upright row with a slight lean in, and your elbows are kind of pointed back a little bit. Next up, we have a really good one, suspension T raises. These are a 3 on the strength scale, 6 on the hypertrophy scale, 8 on the recovery scale, and 10 on the difficulty scale. You're not going to gain a lot of strength, but these aren't really that hard to do, and you'll recover pretty well from them. That's basically the point here. This is another thing you can do in supplement to adding some lean tissue to the back of your shoulder. And the way you do them, basically, you just want to make sure that your elbows are locked and you're pulling or basically doing a fly with your arms out to your side. And you're just forming a T with your body. To increase or reduce the resistance, just change your foot placement. Increasing the resistance, step closer towards the anchor. Reduce it, step a little bit further away. All right, let's start working these front delts now, with the lying down cable bar front raise. It's a 4 on the strength scale, 7 on the hypertrophy scale, 6 on the recovery scale, and 8 on the difficulty scale. This is really good for hypertrophy. And ultimately, it's not that difficult to do. You're lying down there. It eliminates all of the body English that you could possibly put into a normal front raise. So you're not, tweaking your lower back just to get some dumbbells up in the air. Here, you're lying flat on a bench and you're raising your arms up. It basically locks you in place and you're good to go. And last but not least, the most difficult exercise we have on this list for you here, Landmine Cerberus raises. Now these are a 5 on a strength scale, 5 on a hypertrophy scale, 7 on a recovery scale, and 2 on a difficulty scale. Like I said, they're very difficult to do. They're pretty good in recovery, in the middle of the road in strength and hypertrophy. The thing is, you're not going to add weight to this stuff. The barbell is enough here, right? So the way you do it is you set up your landmine. And once you get your landmine set up here, you want to set it up in a way that the end is going across your body, kind of at an angle. And you want to basically do a front raise and it turns into a lateral raise. And then you start to work your rear delt at the same time, ultimately making sure that you're keeping your shoulder stable. And that's what this is really good for. It's really good to train that shoulder stability, and also a little bit of strength too. So y'all know what to do here. Like, comment, subscribe, check out all the socials, listen to the podcast, do all of those things. But if you would like to see more videos, tutorials like this, where I'm going over different body parts, different exercises, and maybe just a favorites list of different back exercises, chest exercises, or what have you, let me know, and I'll get that out there. But in the meantime, I'm Coach Evan. This is Say Cheese and Lift Studio, and we'll see you around.